That's what our draft looks like. Will one work? It will. Okay, we get a second round pick for next year. Trade accepted. There we go. Trade accepted. Brazo. Valeno. Shoots. Scores! Joe Valeno from the slot opens the scoring on the power play. Sam Steele picks it up. Goes in front. Scores! Sam Steele finds the short side. Tries to go for a slap shot. He's stripped of the puck, but Sam Steele will pick it up and score for his second of the game. 52 seconds left. A shot they score. Boynton. I don't know how to pronounce that. Shoot on the empty net and Drouin will score and secure the game as Quebec will take their first game in the preseason 4-1. Alright, welcome back to the second episode of the franchise mode. Now, I have a little bit of sad news for some reason. So, when I was doing the original video, I recorded about an hour and a half, I'd say, of content and realized I traded for American players, 2 of them. So I was like, oh, okay, gotta fix this. Went back in that save and went through with that last episode, the rest of it, and realized, and when I came back to play on here, that save was going back to the one that had American players on it, which wasn't good. Now, we're back. I kind of fixed it, but there are some things that are different. First of all, we did not get the first overall pick. Now, I did try to resave it again. I had Fog of War on by accident, and I did get the first overall pick, so I wasn't able to trade for Nate Danielson. But in that trade with Detroit, instead of getting their 2 first-round picks, I ended up only getting 1 of their first-round picks and Nate Danielson. Everything else are fine. We still have that second from Edmonton, and I kept my second-round pick and drafted this guy, I think. That's not one that I drafted. Now, the AHL team, it didn't matter if I put in Canadian players, so you'll see a couple guys who aren't Canadian down in the AHL team. I counted that as fine. Where's the unsigned guys? Oh, it's this guy. So I got this guy in the second round. Now, you'll notice I have some guys in the AHL that will never make my NHL team who are not Canadian. I decided that was fine just to fill it out because I didn't want to go through and have to, look for all of the Canadian players specifically. I know they probably could have filled it out like that. I just wanted to get it over with quick, especially with having to go through and draft everything. I got Canucks legend Olli Juolevi. I know he's a Finnish player, but he's never going to make the NHL. Those guys are like AHL bottom players. They won't make the NHL. So, yeah. And if I have to call anybody up to the NHL, and it's one of those guys that, because of injuries, let's say, I will go sign a Canadian player and bring them up. But without further ado, honestly, I kind of just want to get into our first game. I'm going to mess with the trade block as we're saying right after this first game, because I did have to delete it so I could get through simulation. Oh, it fixed it. So this is our trade block. Honestly, I don't mind having a bit of a trade block. But yeah, we'll get into our first game against Winnipeg. Our first actual game, we'll just do the sim. And yes, we'll sim both the AHL and NHL. Alright. Alright, we're going to go through full period here. First period, we're up 2-1. Riley Smith gets the first goal for us in our franchise. Gabe Velarde ties it up. Then Barrett Hayton gets another one. Alright, second period. Oh, they get to Kyle Connor, Adam Lowry. We're looking for our first ever win. It'd be cool to get in our first game, but Winnipeg is a tough team. Let's see how the third period goes. So Brazo ties it immediately. Let's go, Brazo. Come on. Come on, boys. One shot's all we need. We're getting outshot like crazy, as we probably would expect in every one of our games. And there's Sandberg getting one for Winnipeg. And they take the lead late. And Pionk will get another one. Will they get an empty netter? No. And we'll lose 5-3 in our first game. Alright. Well, at least we got a goal in that game. I was not expecting it to be that close. And we fall to our first game to Winnipeg. And now I'm going to sim the first month and see how we're doing. I'm not expecting this team to go far at all. The preseason was a little better, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 in the preseason, which is better than what we did. I think we did 3 and 5, which is one game difference. Let's get through here to our first month. Let's see how we do. And immediately, Joel Hofer breaks his thumb. And yeah, we're going to need to make a roster move. Oh my god. And there's Jonathan Drouin out with an injury. I'm going to go end of line. Alright, that last game sims through. And this is the Nordiques. Right here. Yes, 4 and 7. Honestly, better than I thought. We're doing better than some teams. The Red Wings are 0-9 and 1. Horrible start for the Red Wings. We're still really low in the standings. As expected, we got 2 injuries already. I set down to 15, so it shouldn't be too many injuries. Rodrigo does get a win. Alright, now we're going to simulate to... I want to do a game for fun. Oh, we'll do the Habs. We're going to simulate to the Montreal Canadiens. It's going to be the battle of the Quebec teams. The Battle of Quebec. Riley Smith injured. I'm going to go ahead. Coach replaces player. Jordan Spence. Oh my god, we're getting shot with injuries. I set it to 15. I don't know why we're getting so many. Luckily we got Patio, Benoit, Thompson will come up. Thompson's got both sides to his game, so he could come in and play both sides just in case we get another injury. Benoit comes up, he can only play one side. Riley Smith is back. That's good. So Sammy Blay will come out of the lineup. NHL is just so slow. I do not understand it. It is so slow. We'll keep simulating here. 6 and 11 and 1. Jonathan Drouin's back. We get some players in. Morgan Barron will come out of the lineup. And Drouin will move up to the first line. Hopefully Jonathan Drouin can stay healthy. Because 9 points through 12 games is pretty good. If he could keep up good pace, then we could get some assets out of him at the deadline. Only Levy on Murderby, that's fine. Joel Hofer's back. That's huge. Jordan Spence is back. Look at that. We have a healthy team. And I just cursed it by saying that. It's not going to last long. One of our players will be knocked out. I think I'm going to keep Thompson up in the NHL for now, because he can play. We have that scratch spot available, and there could be an injury, and there it is. Jordan Spence. Head coach replaces player. Wooly Levy's back. We'll just do best lines for the AHL. And we're up against the Canadiens. So we'll be hopping into this game against the Canadiens. Right now our record is 7-12 and 2. We're above the Senators, and we're above the Red Wings, who are 4-14 and 1. Horrible season for them. Blue Jackets. And that's it. So it's Blue Jackets, Senators, and Red Wings for below us so far as the worst teams. Kind of embarrassing because I think we are the worst team in terms of overall in the NHL. But let's send this game against Montreal, see how we do the first time, the Battle of Quebec in the regular season. Montreal gets a power play. They score. Patty Laine opens the scoring. Alright, let's send the reverse period. And Montreal gets to Lane Hudson will get the second one. Second period here. Valeno gets one, but Montreal sandwiches it with 2 goals of their own. And we'll head into the third period down 4-1. There's 5. I'm going to sim the rest of this. 6-1. We get destroyed by Montreal. No point of simming that third period. We were out of that game by that point. And we are 32nd in goals for. But we are doing pretty good defensively. You would think we were 32nd, but it is the LA Kings who are our next opponent. I think we're going to sim through the rest of the month, and we're going to look at how our team is playing. And we're going to look at some trade blocks, because I think I want to pick up a prospect that will go to the CHL right away, won't go to the AHL. And Joel Hofer, out again with another injury. That is big. A big blow for us. And Rodrigo would come back up. Reimer's going to get the start. This kind of does help because Hofer is 1 overall point better than Reimer. And yeah, we want our backup in more if we want to lose. Rodrigo will go down. How is he in the NHL? 900. Reimer, 898. Loses a lot more when he's in. It's kind of what we want. All over his back. So Rodrigue will go down. Alright, we're back to simulating, and Rodrigue is now out in the AHL, and Anthony Mantha's out in the NHL. Injuries galore for only 15 on the setting. Burnaby's doing pretty good, whilst we are not doing good, which is what we want. Perfect. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and look at some trade blocks and see if we can pick up a prospect. We might have to move one of our good players. Just one of the players that is doing pretty good right now, who has pretty good point totals, just trying to get some value out for them before they either fall off or before the trade deadline. Just maybe look, see what's available, and if we want to pull the trigger on something, we will. We probably won't pull the trigger until the deadline, but we just need to see what's available. They really signed, I mean, I guess Levi is the AHL. God, we could go get our goalie of the future right now. I know they want to get rid of Carter Hart, but we could go get our goalie of the future. I think I'll think about it. Alright, so we're here on Minnesota, and for the reason being, they have a certain prospect on the board that I do want to look at. Now, out of all the players, I think Riley Heidt is the one that I would want to go for the most. He is Canadian. That is the most important part. He's 69 overall. The age of 19 is a top 6 forward. He's Canadian on his entry-level deal. Now, what would it take to get him? Probably Ethan Bear. 1-for-1, Ethan Bear would do it. Jonathan Joanne would probably do it then. Dante Valbro would probably do it. Alex Newhook would probably do it. Danielson would probably do it. But we don't want to get rid of Danielson. Don't want to get rid of Fabro. Don't want to get rid of Newhook. These guys are younger. We could keep them. Jonathan Joanne. He's had 2 injuries so far. He is putting up currently 14 points with 5 goals in 20 games. And yeah, 85 overall. 1-for-1 for Riley Heidt would be pretty good, but we'd be under the league minimum salary. Of course we would. So I don't think I'll make that move right now. Now, the other person on my lookout right now would be, we passed it on Buffalo. They have signed Carter Hart. Now, they want to get rid of Carter Hart. That's not the guy I'm going for. He is Canadian, 85. We get our starter. He would be our starter for right now. We don't need a starter for right now. Now, Devin Levi, 22 years old, 81, medium elite. He'll be our starter for a long time if we trade for him. So I want to add him to here because I want to see what we could give up. Now, I'd be willing to throw our second. Now, we don't want to get rid of our second. I don't really want to, but if it's for Devin Levi, kind of worth it. Now, we'd have to give up another player for it. Probably have to go with a low valued player, maybe one of our AHL guys. And the guy I'm looking at really right now would be Amadio or Morgan Barrett. Would be the 2 guys I'm looking at. Now, if we put Amadio in, I'm pretty sure it would be under league salary. Buffalo would have more than 45 skaters. We wouldn't be under league salary. I don't know if that's cheaping out. Oh my god. EA, fix your menus. It is so bad. We gotta go get a depth player who's Canadian. Ame Kumel is Canadian, yeah. Now, I don't know if this would go through. This might have just evened out. Ame Kumel for Amadio, Levi. Second and Amadio for Levi and Ame Kumel. I don't think this goes through. No. Doesn't meet what they want. And I don't think we're in the spot to really give up picks. Adding Beaulieu to this. Now, he's our 2nd round pick this year. I don't think he'll ever make the NHL. And if so, he won't make that big of an impact. Getting our starting goaltender right now or our starting goaltender in the future would be huge. So, let's try it. No, it's still a bit low. I'm not comfortable really giving up anything more until the trade deadline, so I'll wait. But those are our two. Riley Height and Devin Levi are our two, who I'm going to look for at the deadline if we want to move a piece. And we're going to sim the next month, unless we have a game against one of our Canadian divisional rivals. We do not. No, we do. We have a game against Toronto. We will go to that one. We'll sim through it. Nate Danielson is back. I'll just do best lines for the AHL. Multiple players on Quebec. Let's see who it is. Jonathan Drouin is back. Scratched. It is Anthony Mantha and Jordan Spence. Now Mantha, I'm playing him on that first line because I want him to get points. He's got 15 and 26. Decent, not what we want. Barrett Hayton, he's got 16 and 26. That's good. And Drouin still has that same point total. So we haven't played a game. I don't know why I went and checked. Jordan Spence is back, which is perfect. We need him in the lineup. We need him growing and developing. And we'll go up against Toronto here. Always like to win against the division rivals, but a loss wouldn't be too bad because we are also tanking. Alright, the Toronto Maple Leafs. These are going to be, other than Montreal, our biggest rivals. Because Ottawa, everyone, I don't know. A lot of people I see like Ottawa more than Toronto and Montreal. John Tavares scores. Joe Veleno scores. We'll go through the rest of the... Max Domi scores. We'll go through the rest of the first period here. First period. They get another one, Austin Matthews. Second period, they get two more. I'm just going to send the third. We get one with Jonathan Drouin, but William Nylander pops one later in the game. We lose 6-2. That's fine. Tanking. That's what we need if we want the first overall pick. Or, if anything, a top 5 pick. A top 5 pick in this draft would be perfect because a lot of them are Canadian. So we'll sim to the end of this month. We'll see how our team's doing. And we'll also go check the draft rankings. Might as well go check it at the end of the month. Give us something to do while we're just taking out the season because we're not really focused on winning. As we hit our 20th, 21st loss of the season, we beat Vancouver. Seems like Vancouver always ends up losing to the bad teams, don't it? And Rodriguez back. That's perfect for Burnaby. Seattle... Urho Vakanainen, we cannot claim him, he's not Canadian. Alright, we are done, we're at the end of the month. We got the Toronto Maple Leafs this month, so we can do at least one game. And then we got the Habs and the Senators. I think I'll do the Habs and Toronto as our next two games. We'll go look. Currently, we have 24 points. That is good for last of the NHL. Perfect. We want to be like the San Jose Sharks. We want to be down in the lineup. Who we're up against on this day here. And we go look. The San Jose Sharks are actually doing pretty good. They're actually 4th in the Pacific. Now, given the Pacific, other than the top 3 teams, is pretty weak. But yeah, they're still up there in the division. That's pretty cool. And the thing I wanted to go look at is draft class. Just to take some time to go look to see what there is. So we have Novorny. We cannot draft. So if we get the first overall pick, we cannot draft Novotny, which would probably be passing up on a franchise player. But that is fine, because we got Matthew Schaefer, Porter Martone, Michael Misa, and Roger McQueen, and Malcolm Spence underneath all that. We have Jordan Gavin, Jackson Smith, Jake O'Brien, Caleb Desnoyers, Cole Chesney, Moray. He's one I might look to get another first round pick to try to grab him. He sometimes falls later into the draft, and I could see that happening. But if he is down here in the middle, it wouldn't be bad to go pick him up. Now, in terms of goalies, Devin Levi would be cool. And Devin Levi would be nice to have. But there are a couple goaltenders in this draft. I could just go to goalies here. Ravensbergen, Ivan Kovic, and Dag are the 3 goalies. We got this guy here. We cannot draft him, but all 3 of the big major goalie players we could take. This is what our second round pick would be valuable for. That's why I didn't really want to get rid of it. In terms of other goaltenders, we got Hickey and Gravel, but I don't think they're that good. We all know these guys are probably going to be medium elite. Ravensburg and Ivankovic and Dag. I'm pretty sure they're all medium elite. They could, maybe some of them be starter. I'm not sure. But we will head into the game against Toronto here. And yeah, so basically, hopefully we'll land in the top, I think, 5 at least. We want Schaefer or Misa or McQueen are like our big main guys that we want as one of our Burnaby players goes down. And then with our second round pick, we'll look to get a Ravensburg in, a Dag, a Ivankovic, and if we have Devin Levi, it would be fine. As Sean Walker's hurt, we'll replace player in the lineup. And we're facing the Leafs. And Benoit was the pick we did take from the Leafs. Kind of obvious he does play for the Leafs right now. They are first in goals for. We are last in both goals for, goals against. We're second last in power play, penalty kill. We're actually decent on the power play. And we are very much dead last in the league. It's not a bright season for us. We'll hop into this game against the Leafs after we got destroyed 6-2 last time. Let's see how we do. Hopefully we could get a win against a divisional rival. That would be fun. First period. And we're already down 2-0. Kelly Arnkark, Nick Robertson. And the second period we'll go through here. And forward, so Robertson gets a second one, Tanev gets another one. Robertson's on hat-trick watch. I will slow down. Barrett Hayton gets one. Cuts the lead down to 2. I'm going to stay playing because I want to see if Nick Robertson gets the hat-trick. He's on hat-trick watch. It'd be really cool, even if it's not one of our players, to get the hat-trick. Barrett Hayton scores 1. Riley Smith scores 1. All we need is 1 more here. Less than 5 minutes to go. And we will not get it. We will fall 4-3, but at least we showed a little bit of resilience, trying to start the comeback, but just couldn't finish it. We will go to, I think I'm going to go tell the Montreal game, because nothing really, I don't really have anything I want to look at the end of the month. The Montreal game gives us a closer date to the trade deadline where we can look at player stats and see who are really good performers on close to expiring deals who we can get rid of. James Reimer goes down with an injury. I did not see how long it would be. And Rodrigue will come up. I want some feedback. I understand I'm a small channel and I might not get too much feedback when it comes to what to do, and people might not comment their thoughts on what we should do. But I kind of want to wait, see if we get a little bit of feedback before the deadline, see if you guys agree that my 2 targets in Levi and Height would be right, and when we get to that Montreal game and look at how our players doing, if you guys agree that we should be looking to move the players that I want to move, as well best lines down here in Burnaby and head to that Montreal game. James Reimer's back. Of course he is right away. So if we're looking to move someone out to bring Devin Levi in, James Reimer might be the guy. So I might look around and just get a low round pick for him, because I kind of want to bring in Devin Levi even if we draft goalie in the second round. We could give Levi like a 4-year deal, and then once that goalie's developed, if he's going to break through, we could trade Levi for a bunch of assets when he's good and kind of win that deal and gain a bunch of assets and maybe get a player that we need, like a hole in our roster, if we're hopefully out of the rebuild by then. But if we're not, then that's fine, as we come up here against Montreal 17-36-4 on the season, definitely dead last. We'll sim this last game, we'll check how our players are doing, and we will sim up to the trade deadline, and I will end the video off there. We want both of our games simulated. And so next video we'll go trade deadline, end of season, and we might do the draft. As here we go, first period, 0-0. In the second battle of Quebec, second period, 2-1 Jonathan Drouin gets one after Nick Suzuki gets two. We got a hat trick watch for Nick Suzuki as we get a power play. Could we capitalize? Nope. Montreal up 2-1. We got another power play. Come on. Come on. And we are not able to score on it. We just need one to tie the game. If we sense to overtime, I will go watch overtime, but it does not look like it's the case. Montembeau's playing really good. Montreal gets a power play late in the game, and an empty netter on the power play for Kirby Dach. We will lose 3-1. And now we will head to Stats Central. We will look at the players, and it is Frederick Gaudreau leading our team, with Barrett Hayton second, Riley Smith, Michael Button, Jonathan Drouin, Anthony Mantha, Alex Newhook, who's having a really good season for the third line. I like what I'm seeing here from Alex Newhook. I feel like moving Jonathan Drouin or a Michael Bunting. Michael Bunting's on a 2-year deal. He's got 10-team no trade, but he's got no trade clause at the end of the year, which might be better for some teams because then they can move him out if they need the cap space. And I'd be willing to retain 50% of his salary even if it's for 2 seasons because we're not going to be spending that much. Jonathan Drouin, he's on a 1-year deal at 2.880. I wouldn't mind. I don't think we really have to retain because his contract's so cheap, but if we would, I wouldn't mind doing it. And the other guy I want to look to move, it's a guy who I don't think I'm going to keep around for long. He's 27 years old, 85 overall, Ethan Bear. So those three, Bunting, Drouin, Mantha, he's on a 1-year deal. We might ship him out as well. But other than that, I think Riley Smith is another candidate. I don't want to get rid of too much, right? And I feel like Riley Smith at the age of 33 is going to be a prime target for some teams. I feel like we should move him if we are going to move him. Michael Bunting, 29, a little younger. We could keep him for that 1 more year where we'll have more freedom in terms of trading him, and it might make a little more sense. Jonathan Drouin, that's a guy we could get rid of, but he is 29. We could extend him for 1 more season because it could help that first line out and maybe even move to the second line, but I kind of want to move Newhook up. So Bunting or Drouin have to go. Riley Smith will be one to go, and Frederick Gaudreau's another one. 31 years of age, 84 overall. He's leading our team in points, and he's on a 4-year deal at $2.525 million for the next 4 seasons. Very cheap, 15-team no trade clause throughout the entirety of it. I kind of think that it would be smart to hold on to him due to how low his cap hit is. He could be that really good second-line player, and then once we're kind of out of it, could be that third-line player that would be really good on a cheap deal. But at the same time, we'll probably reach the end of his contract by the time we're trying to make a push. Maybe now might be the time to capitalize off of his insane point totals. And in terms of defense, I do want to get rid of Ethan Bear. That's the only guy I really want to get rid of. Sean Walker is another guy who teams might be interested in, but 5-year deal at 4.11. Having that for an 85 overall defenseman for the next 5 seasons would be really good. I kind of want to keep that and maybe move him on a second or third final year of his deal, or maybe just the final year. But yeah, that's about it. I will sim up to the trade deadline, and we will see, and we will end the video off there. And yeah, that will be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Sorry for the low energy. The having to redo the whole save did kind of ruin it for me. I will save here as I'm outroing. But yes, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode where we do the trade deadline and the draft, because we definitely aren't making the playoffs. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.